Hello, Earth signs, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm starting a series of timeless readings on differing topics based on the elements of your signs. So, this will be a timeless reading for Earth signs as you're dealing with motherhood, and that'll be the topic. So, our Earth signs would be Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So, and what we're going to do is take a look at your past and maybe the attitudes that you took into motherhood with you, your present, how you're managing life as a mother, and then look at possible paths ahead of you, things that you might be dealing with, and try to give you some advice in that area. So, I've come up with this reading just for this channel, and I really hope that you do take something away and are able to use it in your life. And also, please leave a comment down below and let me know if there's anything here that resonates with you today, and maybe what other timeless topics that you'd like to see me take a look at when it comes to these readings. So, also, if you enjoy my reading style, of course, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate your help with that. So, without further ado, Earth signs, that's Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, let's take a look at your sign in motherhood. We're going to open with a card from the Alice in Wonderland tarot deck, and only the major arcana, because the minor arcana, I don't feel super comfortable reading those quite yet. They kind of have different meanings than the Rider-Waite tarot. So, and they're funny, they're awesome. I love the deck. It's really beautiful. But we're going to start with the major arcana, and let's talk about your attitude, when it comes to life in general and how you manage things. So, we've got the Moon card. And what does that mean? That means that the earth signs, you guys are maybe connected to the moon quite a bit, and you use your intuition and your feelings when you're going about things, and that's how you go into motherhood. You've gone into it kind of using your intuition, and that's how you make your decisions. You go by feeling rather than the book. You know, you might be reading the book, but you definitely you check how you're feeling before you make decisions when it comes to being a mother. Not a bad way to go about that. All right, we're going to take a look here. We're going to pull a few cards out here and talk about your roots, your personality traits, maybe your strengths and weaknesses, and kind of what you brought into motherhood. So, first card here is Ace of Cups. So, what you're bringing in, what you've brought in with you is just the strong feeling of love. You are able to just overflow with love. You're able to show that. You don't hold back when it comes to that with anyone around you, whether it be your children or your spouse or your family. You let people know how you feel, and that you're just not shy about it. And that's such an awesome way to be, very, very loving that's how you've come into motherhood. So awesome for your kids, right? You've also come in with the ability to be, to have some anxiety, to have sleepless nights because you're worrying about everything. I know this because I carry a little bit of that earth energy myself, and I understand the fretting over things that maybe they don't need to be fretted over, right? So you have a tendency to kind of pull in a little bit of anxiety and worry about things that maybe don't always need to be worried about. So, that's just who you are. You're going to worry about things, and you're going to be, you're going to worry about your kids, and I feel that I always called myself the safety monitor because I was always just, right there, and I felt like, oh, they're going to fall or hurt themselves, and they do sometimes, and it's usually just fine. But I was kind of that worry wart, and so I completely understand that. Another aspect that you've brought in is the Fool card, which is awesome. This means that you are definitely adventurous and just ready to step foot into the next thing. You have that ability to kind of change it up really quickly and move quickly on your feet, and that's not a bad skill to have as you're heading into motherhood. So I really love that your ability to love. Yeah, of course you have those anxieties that come in, but also your ability to just change modes. Like, this thing changes and you're like, all right, things are changing, let's change with them and let's roll with the punches. So great skill to have in motherhood. Let's take a look at your present. Let's talk about how you're kind of handling life in general. So at your present is, you think about the future quite a bit, and you think about it, and there's these calm emotional waters, but you have thoughts on your mind, and you're parenting in a way that is, you're thinking about the future of your children. You're thinking, Are we doing the right thing now? Because 10 years from now, here's the result that we want. That is a great, great way to go about it. You're thinking about, are your children learning to read so that they can do that early? And this is going to help build on this educational skill, or learning some math skill. It could be that you might have your children in sports pretty early, or dance or creative, into different creative arts or performing arts, that you're thinking about those things early, which is really great. And that's also a very earthy way to do that. So when it comes to the earth signs, but those things are important to you, and you realize the importance of thinking about the future now to get things done, so that you're moving into that kind of smooth sailing. And I love that in this picture, not only is it a woman, it looks like sitting here, but little child next to her, which, I don't even think I've really paid attention to that until doing these mothering readings. So very cute that you're thinking about that. Another thing is you're thinking about your ultimate happiness when it comes to emotions. So, you're the kind of mom that really sits down and listens to your kid and looks them right in the eye when they've got something going on. You're asking those questions, and you're right at their level. And so emotional importance, and again, with happy kids in the background of this card, that you're really concerned about their emotional well-being, and making sure that they know that they're heard and understood, and you're really able to get down on their level and talk to them, when they have concerns and things going on. You're really plugged in that way. Another card here that comes up is a little more anxiety. So, I get the feeling that as these issues come up and you're able to fill up their emotional cup, you also take away you're taking that pain that they're feeling or transferring, in that energy, and you do worry about it. You do take it with you. Also, a very normal thing for a mom to do, and that's the way I did things as well. So I totally get it. Is that, yeah, you're going to talk to your kid and let them explain things to you, and they're probably better, but you're going to take it away and worry about it even more maybe than you should. So, and that's so sweet. It's so sweet. But I do feel that that is the way that you're kind of managing things. So thinking about the future, definitely concerned about everyone's well-being around you, especially in the mental realm. But you need to be careful that you don't take so much of that stress in with you, and that you have some outlet for that as well. We are going to now take a look at what are the issues that are coming up the most for you in motherhood, and how to manage those. So, Knight of Wands, I'm going to say that, here's fire energy with an earth sign. And Knight of Wands is kind of a card of action when it comes to passions. And it could be that, when it comes to your kids, are you taking the right kind of action when it comes to their passions? So make sure that you are having an open mind to, I know around here, my husband and I are both musicians. And as our kids were coming up, they would naturally be drawn to music, and which we loved, but we were also very, very, like, we wanted to make sure that they were introduced to other things, and they didn't feel like they had to do music, as an interest, because that's what we were into. So we were offering them sports things and different, theater and dance and all the different things. So make sure that, and kids will tell you pretty early what it is that they're into, and make sure that you are finding out from them what are their interests and what are their passions, and make sure it's not something that's just your passion, but that you're offering a broader world to them, so that they can explore the world in their own way. It may not be the same things you're interested in, and it may be. I mean, our kids kind of split off. Some of them still are into music, so but we did make them go and try other things. So just make sure you understand what your kids' passions are. Also, Knight of Cups. So two action cards here on the top. So let's also, I would say with this one is make sure your kids are also, it looks like you're taking care of their emotional well-being, and that's something that you do, but they also need to stand on their own 2 feet in their emotional realm as too. So make sure you're not, especially as they mature and as they're getting a little bit older, that you're not swooping in to kind of make sure everything's okay. They need to do things on their own in their emotional world also, and have successes and failures all on their own. So you can't rush in and fix everything. And I'm saying, like, I think about like the junior high, maybe the drama with girls in junior high. And if you feel like you want to rush in and talk to this one's mom and fix all the things that are going on, that's not good. You need to let them learn how to manage the world. I always say when it comes to kids that it's best, let's let them make mistakes when they're young and still under our care, so that we're there to kind of help them manage it, and they're going to be better once they get into the world and have to manage those things on their own. So if that's something, if you tend to be kind of a swoop in and you want everybody to be okay emotionally, so you kind of swoop in and overparent, at that point you may want to pull back a little bit and let those kids get in there and make their own mistakes and have their, again, their own successes and failures in the emotional realm. All right, one last card is, yeah, moving away emotionally. So this, and detaching emotionally. And again, I think this might be, something that earth signs might have an issue with, that you are attached to those kids emotionally, but you've got to let them, move on their own and grow and do things so that they can become emotionally independent. So if you have kind of that feeling, that you're, here you are really super engaged, but if sometimes you do need to back away and you need to let them have, have their battles and things that are going on in their own life, so that they can learn from that now while they're under your care, right? Okay, so we are going to take a card here, and this is from the Wild Unknown Animals Spirit deck. And this is going to be your advice card when it comes to all of these things with motherhood for the earth signs. What is the advice on really how to handle your challenges and how to handle things moving forward? And this would be, which animal traits should you try to develop more into your personality to help you deal with it? So, and this is the vulture. Interesting. So, what does that mean? So, go look up the qualities of a vulture also. I mean, I'm going to think, a vulture is something that's kind of always hovering over things, and kind of the opposite of, I'm telling you not to do that, not to hover. So it's very interesting that that card pops up as a way to manage this. But, and it could be that the vulture is kind of, let things happen. Go ahead and observe things, but let those things happen. And you're not going to go in until the situation is dead and done. And then you can help your child assess. Instead of trying to get in and manage, just wait till everything's done. And again, like the whole situation's dead, done, and over. And then you're going to go into with just your kid one on one, and and really talk about, just kind of pick it apart like a vulture would pick apart the situation. What happened with this friend, and how did that make you feel, and how would you do that differently next time? That's the time to go in and really help them, not while they're in the thick of it and going through it. So we are also going to grab a card here from the Audacity deck, which this deck is hilarious. Thank you to my daughter-in-law who got me this deck, and it makes me laugh every time I look at it. And just kind of look at, so we're going to take on, in your immediate future here, just take on being the vulture watching. We're going to grab this card as kind of a more humorous look on how you should be looking at things. And it is the Lover's card. So, I'm going to say with this that it may be time to take a break from those kids, kind of reattach with your partner, make sure that you're nurturing your romantic relationships, as well. Instead of, your kids are important, and of course they're a huge priority, but you have to definitely nurture those romantic relationships. Also, make sure that you have a partner at when these kids are all gone, right? So it's something, that you do have to do. And it seems that that might be something that the earth signs need to hear right now, is make sure that beyond nurturing those kids, and I know it's exhausting, I know almost at the end of the day, when I raised four kids, it's sometimes I just didn't want anyone else touching me. It was just a very physical, you're holding babies and this and that, and it's just, you're physically exhausted by the end of the day, where your body is just like, ugh. So you have to take that time to really kind of disconnect from being a mom. And if that takes maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes of a bubble bath or a hot shower, or just reading a book, something that lets you do that disconnect and that break apart, and then spend some time with your partner. So Make sure you're trying to find that time to nurture you and your relationship. And that's going to be my advice there. So, Earth signs, I really hope that there was something you can take away from this reading and use. Again, if you'd like to, please leave me a comment down below. Let me know if anything in this reading resonated with you. And also if you have ideas for other readings that you'd like to see, other timeless readings when it comes to your element sign, that might be helpful for you. So, and as always, if you enjoyed my reading style, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel. I also do weekly readings based on sign, and I do daily card readings as well. So, feel free to click on any of those. And if you subscribe to my channel, those should start popping up in your feed. So I would really appreciate that. So, again, Earth signs, I really appreciate your time here with me today. I hope there was something you can take away and use, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.